My name is Trevor, and I'm a counsellor based on the edge of Dartford, and I also offer online counselling to clients all over the UK. This is my therapy room in my home, where you would visit if we were to work face to face, or if we work online, this would be the view. If you're watching this video, I suspect you're very aware how tough life can be. Sometimes it can take us right to breaking point and beyond, and counselling can help at those times when it feels overwhelming. People come to therapy for all kinds of reasons, because of bereavement or trauma, or a broken relationship, or something more deeply rooted and personal. Sometimes people get depressed or angry or anxious or lonely without fully understanding the cause of those feelings. You may need a space to be heard without judgment, and that space could be here for you. In the therapy room or online, together we'd reflect on your current and past experiences and explore your thought patterns and where they come from and how they affect you. I give you a chance to tell your story without pressure or judgment. I believe that with the right support, everyone has the ability to heal from their emotional wounds and lead a happy and fulfilled life. I deliver non-judgmental, LGBTQI plus positive, sex positive, faith positive counselling. I'm a very positive person. My training is as an integrative counsellor. This means I use insights and techniques from several different schools of counselling. However, the heart of my practice is person-centred, which means that I believe that you are the expert in your life, not me. Deep down, you instinctively know what you need in order to grow and change for the better. My job is to help you reflect and discover the answers that you already have, even if that's very hard to believe right now. I specialise in the areas of trauma, bereavement, and low self-esteem, but work across a wide range of issues. I've delivered counselling for Cruise Bereavement Care and Eleanor Hospice, and I now have my own private practice, which I've been running since 2019. On our first session, I'll explain what type of counselling I offer, and we'll discuss the contract that you'll sign if you decide to work with me. And I'll be happy to email you that in advance of our first session if you prefer a chance to read through it. After the first session, you can decide if we could work together, and there's no pressure on that decision. There's several reasons why a counsellor and client might not fit, and it's important to make sure you find someone with whom you're comfortable. For example, if a counsellor reminds you of a school teacher who bullied you, it may be easier to find another counsellor than to work through the issues that brings up. I usually work in blocks of 6 sessions, so initially we'd work together for 6, 12 or 18 sessions, or longer term if needed, but I'd always discuss progress after every 6 or 12 sessions. For face-to-face work, I have 2 important notices. Firstly, I'm sorry, my counselling room doesn't currently have wheelchair access. There's a narrow doorway and 2 steps. Also, my household includes 2 cats. They will be locked away upstairs during our counselling sessions, but allergies might still be triggered by cat hair in the air. I began working online as a result of the COVID lockdown, and I have to confess that I wasn't enthusiastic at first, but we all had to adapt. So I paused my practice while I took 2 online training courses, and was very surprised to find that there were actually advantages to working this way, as well as certain challenges. Research has shown that online counselling is equally effective as working face-to-face. It may be strange at first, but I think it soon feels natural, and you may be more comfortable in your own home with a cup of tea in your hand. I adhere to the BACP ethical framework, and I'm a member of the BACP. That's the British Association of Counsellors and Psychotherapists. You can look that up online and find the ethical framework on their website, and I'm happy to talk about this or email you the link. Our counselling sessions will be confidential, and even the fact that you're receiving counselling will be confidential. But there are some limits to that confidentiality, and this is true of all professional counsellors. I'm legally obliged to keep notes. These are usually just a sentence or 2 from each session, and I don't go into details. The reason I'm legally obliged to take these notes and to keep them for 5 years is that if you either harmed yourself or someone else, a judge could order me to hand over those notes to help a court get a picture of your mental state. There are other instances when I could be obliged to break confidentiality. I'm obliged to inform someone if I believe that you're a danger to yourself or to other people, or if you're involved in the import of drugs, money laundering, or terrorism. Those crimes in particular, I'm legally obliged to hand over the information. I also meet with my supervisor once a month to discuss work that I'm doing with all of my clients. This is a professional requirement, and it's important for me to have another pair of eyes considering how my work is progressing and how I might help you better. I express that my counselling is faith positive because Freud, who was the person most responsible for creating talking therapy, thought the belief in God stemmed from unresolved father issues. I think that Freud was wrong and that religion can be a part of a mentally healthy life. My own view is that I'm agnostic, so I have no agenda to talk you into or out of a faith. However, it is worth noting I don't believe that all religious practices are necessarily good. If our faith makes us hate other people or ourselves, I'd want us to question that together. Sex positive means that I believe that our sexuality is an important part of who we are, and there are many ways to express our sexuality, from vanilla to kink, one partner or many. That doesn't mean anything goes. I believe that our sexual practices should be expressed in safe and consensual ways. But what's important to consider is how we feel afterwards about ourselves. Do we feel better about ourselves or worse? One important note about bereavement work: I would strongly recommend leaving it at least 3 months after the date of the bereavement. Those first few months are usually extremely difficult, and no amount of therapy can take away that pain. The exception could be after a sudden or traumatic death, when you might need some immediate help just to process the loss. If you've got this far in the video, I think it might be worth your while to drop me an email, text, or phone call. The details are on the website, and I'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye, and all the best.